For over 170 years, a ritual takes place on Nampally grounds, where thousands suffering primarily from asthma queue up to swallow a fish. This annual ritual was started by Bathini Goud family in the 1840, and the family claims it came down to them through a saint who gave them this magic potion or magic medicine. Call it what you may. You know what the patients do? They are made to gulp down a live fish with a yellow herbal paste in its mouth, which is believed to provide relief if taken for 3 consecutive years. The medicine is given with jaggery to the vegetarians, because I also had the first questions, what will the vegetarians do? Apparently with jaggery, you know. Otherwise, the secret yellow herbal paste is stuffed into the 3 centimeter long live fish before being slipped into the throat of a patient. It's called fish prasadam. It is now back after a gap of 3 years because COVID happened. At that time, you couldn't have such a huge gathering, therefore the gap. It took place actually today in Nampally exhibition grounds on the occasion of Mrigasira Karthi, starting from 8 am. You know, even as rationalists have rubbished it, they say there is no scientific theory to all this. One sees a huge crowd, believe you me, at the exhibition grounds in Nampally. And one thing which sets the Bathinis apart, no, I am not carrying a brief for them, but I am just letting you know that they don't use any kind of technology, and they claim to have cured lakhs of those who have ingested this magic fish. My colleague Kartikeya Sharma is with me in the studio, and later we shall also get some expert opinion, a doctor, because this concerns your health and my health. Kartikeya, this country, you know, right from the beginning, you know, healers, we hear about healers now, Reiki healers happened, then usually healers, we also have God men and women who touch you or give you a thump on the back and, you know, you get well. What do you make of this? You know, it's very interesting. You actually, you know, as you put your throat like this, there is one man and you open the mouth karke fish ko. Can you imagine ingesting a live fish? So what do you think?
I think, I see it like a cultural practice. Now, if we technically go by the legality of it, the legality is that on the behalf of the state government, Minister Talasani Srinivasa Yadav and District Collector Amyo Kumar have monitored the massive arrangements, and the Department of Fisheries have provided 10.50 lakh fish. Now, if the Department of Fisheries have provided 2.50 lakh fish, it is legal. It means that they acknowledge this practice. So there is nothing illegal about it. But I would take it like cultural relativism. I will not try to see it from the eyes of diagnostic allopathic practice. The doctors can have their own view. But then there are multiple practices in India, which a lot of doctors have different views. For example, doctors feel that Ayurveda cannot treat cancers. A lot of allopathic doctors have their views on the Siddha medicine, which is taught in Palakkad in Kerala. A lot of people have different point of views on allopathy, on homeopathy and the sort of substance which they use in their so-called liquid medicines. So people have different views. So I think cultural relativism and medicine is embedded in social fabrics across the world. This is one of them. And to say that the science is devoid of faith is stupidity. Even Newton, the father of physics, would say that the nature is so beautiful, the universe is so beautiful, the motion is so beautiful that there must be a divine hand behind it. Someone just should go back and read The Social Structure of Scientific Revolution by Thomas Kuhn and understand that no science and technology is divorced from social practices. I am not getting into superstition, Sudha. I am not getting into the fact that, you have rogue practitioners, people who play
quacks.
with the health, quacks, yes, and the people who play with the health of poor people, or people who in context of treatment, health, provide you with fake solutions. But we have to expand our knowledge of healing. Treatment is about healing of the body, but it is also about healing of mind, and healing of mind and body is also to do with the feeling of faith. Tell me why, Sudha, people have their favorite doctors. Let me be the devil's advocate with you. Don't you have a favorite doctor? Trust. So sometimes
इनके हाथ की दवाई लगती है मुझे.
लगती है. What about placebo? So that, to see it from the perspective of just Victorian science is very, very different. I would say that the faith and trust are two different things. This is not a mass hysteria. If it is mass hysteria, Telangana government should ban it.
Yeah, but you know, let me also play the devil's advocate here. First of all, the Telangana government, even during COVID, they had done some kind of a, you know, a concoction where you put it in your nose and you got well, and rationalists were up in arms and said, listen, the country is suffering, stop all this quackery that you're doing. That is number one. Number two, it is also being said that most of these come from far-flung areas, rural areas, and it is free and it is given to them and they come year after year. There is of course trust. Lagti hogi na, kuch to hoga.
Sudhaji, you would remember when when dengue 2 or 3 years ago affected large parts of the national capital region, what were people looking after? Bakri ka doodh और कच्चे पपीते का रस,
पपीते का रस और वो पत्ते लड़ाई होती थी.
Has that been prescribed by World Health Organization?
No.
Okay. That has not been prescribed by the World Health Organization. So there are a lot of aspects of science, lot of aspects of body and healing which are not available through the diagnostics. I am saying that please, we have to accommodate. Science needs to accommodate faith and trust as part of its process.
You know, you spoke about science and faith. We have a guest joining us, Sanjeev Singh Yadav. There he is. Doctor, how are you doing? Good to have you on the show.
I'm
Doctor,
good. I'm good, Madam Sudha. How are you?
I'm very well, Dr. Yadav. Dr. Yadav, this is about, you know, the thing is that, what do you make of this fish prasadam? You know, this is now started after 3 years, Dr. Yadav. But you are a doctor, you know, like a lot of rationalists say that these allopathic doctors went to great colleges, spent money, spent 5 to 7 years to study. But you tell me something, they say that it works on a lot of people.
See, as our guest was telling, it is all about faith. I have seen this from my childhood, born, brought up in Hyderabad and studied. My basic question is, number one, maintenance of hygiene. The way they are putting this into the mouth without using gloves, with the advent of COVID and so many infectious disease, even the WHO has warned that there's something else which is going to come up. And the way the treatment is given is something which must be condemned, number one. You must at least have gloves and see that you maintain some distance, because we are endemic, not pandemic, but all said and done, COVID has not gone away from India.
Right.
So this is one thing which is note. Number two, as for the treatment part, they are giving something like a herbal medicine or concoction of herbal medicine, where the contents of the medicine are not known. They have not given it for getting it rectified by a scientific manner. What is the content? Any drug given to a patient, it must be labeled that these are the contents. When you eat something, buy something from the market, in that it is written so much of fat, so much of sugar, so much of carbohydrate, so much of so and so is there. That one thing is missing in that. There is a lot of belief in India. There, as my other speaker was telling, a lot of faiths. There is nothing wrong in that.
Dr.
All
Yadav,
said and done, is there any data to prove that lakhs and lakhs of people have taken?
You know,
where is the data to prove that so many have become well? By mouth telling that they have become well is something, but where is the data? If in the lakhs of people, only 5 to 2% are getting treatment, that is not a proper treatment at all, as per my indication. If I give a medicine, there is a data on which it has been tried on many people. Like there is a lot of questioning going on regarding the vaccination in COVID. And why not you question regarding this particular medicine which is given from years together? What is the combination of things which are added to do that? And why a live fish? Why to a vegetarian? Now the belief is vegetarians are not supposed to take it, but it is just sussed into. Where does it go? From the mouth into the esophagus and into the stomach, where there are a lot of acids which make the fish literally dead.
No, doctor, let me ask you. See, you're a doc, right? And by the way, this is not a guest. This is my colleague Kartikeya Sharma, and
I didn't know that.
No, absolutely. I mean, so meet them here. I'm introducing you live. Kartikeya Sharma, meet Dr. Yadav. Dr. Yadav, the thing is that the point is, you know, this is for asthma, and I'm not a doc, but I'm just asking you. There is no real cure for asthma. No, you can control it.
Definitely, as you said, there is no real cure for asthma. Asthma can be contained because the trigger factors are thousands.
Yeah.
Trigger factor for asthma are thousands.
Yeah. So
it could be dust, it could be allergy.
So doc, I am asking you about the 2% people who feel some kind of a relief. Yes, like Kartikeya said, there is faith, there is trust. Dr. Yadav, if I come to you and I get well, no, I'm going to become a repeat patient with you. That's
Yes.
the beauty of that whole system of GPs, you know, which the colonial masters introduced to us. Who's your GP? And we go generation after generation. So coming back to this, so if asthma is not curable, you know, what do you think this fish does? Just explain it to me, you know. Of course, Kartikeya would like to eat it, but I am asking you that how does it work, Dr. Yadav?
Basically speaking, fishes like marl, sardines, long trouts, some fruits and vegetables have a lot of omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
And omega-3 fatty acids are supposed to be one of the thing which cures, I mean not cures, which makes the asthma come down. That is the reason why they are giving a live fish, so that those omega-3 fatty acids and whatever coaction of medicine which is thrust down the mouth of the marl fish and put into the human being inside, what is the action of it is something which is very difficult to explain, because those people are in a belief that once they give this thing, composition of this thing, the effect of the medicine will go away, is what I read in the Google and WhatsApp and TV and all. That is the reason why we have approached, not we, somebody, I think some organization approached the High Court to see that this medicine is taken and a biochemical analysis is being made of that. What the fish does is produce omega-3 fatty acids, which definitely help in reducing the tightness of the lung field or the bronchus or the airway, so that the asthma comes down. That is the only reason what I can see in the fish. I don't know what a medicine is there in that, so it is difficult to comment on that.
Right, because a lot of rationalists, like you said, they have gone to court and they've done, but I don't think I've ever heard of anyone complaining. I mean, there have been no complaints against this annual fish prasadam ritual, as it were.
No, there are some chest physicians who I have talked to after I came to know that I am going to talk on this. 10 to 15% of them do come back with a lot of allergies, because fish causes allergy. That is one of the most commonest thing why seafood is being avoided by many people. Those allergies cause a lot of reactions and those get admitted. Only thing is, we have to come to a conclusion by asking many people how many cases have been admitted. From tomorrow onwards, I will be on that job to find out from many hospitals how many cases of this allergy have been admitted, so that I can come back to you later on whenever you have a program on this.
You know, Kartikeya, do you think that just because asthma, like he said, has no cure, there are only triggers you control, you know? It could be anything, it could also be psychosomatic, a mental trigger. So I am asking you that all these people that you see behind you, maybe they do not get the kind of treatment in hospitals and therefore they come here and want this. That could also be कि बार बार जाते हैं, भीड़ होती है, कुछ तो बड़े महंगे अस्पताल हैं. Hyderabad में government hospital, there is Gandhi, there is lot of hospitals, of course.
See,
but
Sudha,
look at this.
Sociologically or even anthropologically, if you look at the way poor people organize their healing, if you look at the way poor people organize the way they treat themselves, they go for the options which are relatively cheap. Why do you see that the medical centers around Sai Baba Pratishthan are the most crowded? Why do you see the poor people in Delhi around Sai Baba Pratishthan? I am giving a sociological answer which is rooted in a sociological thought. Why is that? One, it is affordable. Secondly, you are acceptable. Third, there is no hierarchy there in those establishments. Fourth, it has a semblance of a science of medicine, that whatever we give you will treat you. Like for example, how many times I have gone to meet one of my friends who practices homeopathy. One person will come, he say, I'm suffering with this. Then he'll say, my mother-in-law is suffering with this. Then he'll say, my daughter is suffering with this. Then he'll say, my sister is suffering with this. And he'll get 5 small bottles and the doctor will say, take it twice a day. So sociologically, what does it tell me? Scientifically, we'll say that, this is like he must have given 15 placebos to them with liquid sugar. But sociologically, what is telling me? One, the medicine for ailment is easily available. It is cheap. Third, there is a sense of faith. So that is what the doctor must have heard, a part of my conversation, that the medical science and faith cannot be divorced. Faith is intrinsic, is part and parcel of it. Don't we have a favorite doctors? Why do we choose an important doctor? Just because we know how he does a heart operation? Do we see him doing a heart operation? Or do we, or any one of us felt him doing a heart operation on your heart? No, na. It's about being faith. Why do you take your mother to a particular doctor? It's about faith. So I'm just saying that in our society, even if it is modern medicine, faith is an intrinsic part of it. Like ISRO scientists doing Havan before launch of a missile.
Why not?
No, what is that?
Yeah,
it's faith.
No, that's what I wanted to ask Dr.
It's
Yadav. Is Dr. Yadav with us? Dr. Yadav, before I let you go, you know, doctors say it all the time, and I am not quoting Hindi cinema, कि अब दवा तो हमने दे दी, अब आप लोग दुआ कीजिए. Now that dua is also about faith. So like Kartikeya says, it has to be a blend of both dawa and dua, na? The 2 Ds, and of course the third D is you, doctor.
Yes, ma'am. Always it is a blend. Even when I had my bypass, my wife might have been sitting outside doing some puja. There is nothing wrong in that.
Yeah.
The thing is, you see, all this is intrinsic to what. But only thing is, when we give something to somebody, we must have a rationale of what it is, what it is doing. That is one thing we request the Goud family to give that coaction, so that the compounds they are using will be known to the public, so that the people will also understand what is being taken by them is the right coaction. Other than that, there is nothing wrong. I have seen from my childhood, when you have jaundice, you get this burning ton on the abdominal wall, on the back, and all those things. Those things are very common in India. We never criticize that. But the end result is it serving the purpose? We are very clear in telling that asthma cannot be cured. It can only be stopped to an extent that the patient can live peacefully.
All right. Okay. Dr. Yadav, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. And of course, Kartikeya, I'm moving to the other story, which is a great sociological phenomena in Tamil Nadu. But before that, talking about faith, Nazar Utarna?
Not only Nazar Utarna,
you know?
Not only Nazar Utarna. I'm just saying that why do people have temples inside hospitals? Go to a biggest hospital chain. Why have they, if they believe in the power of modern medicine and the logic of science, why do they have temple? Why do they have a temple corner? Why do they have a prayer mat?
I know.
The reason is, I'm not here to defend the Prasadam. I'm not here to attack the Prasadam. I'm saying that the modern science needs to understand that it cannot be divorced from faith, because it itself lies on the concept of faith.
And
the early scientific queries were not done by people living in cities. They were done by monks in various abbeys.
Monasteries and abbeys. That's right.